Alrighty then, welcome back to UniX DBS, and for today's video, we've got another top by an absolute unit, and so you already know it's got to go on the channel. So, special guest appearance by Zach. He's been on here before. Been a little bit.
It's been a while.
Been a while since we actually used to have like games on the channel.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, but it should be a treat. It's a deck we've seen here, but it's not by the same pilot. And if you haven't played with Zach for, I don't know, like pretty much since this game started, you know he plays his decks a little differently than you might actually see them. And so this is going to be a different take, and you're going to see a lot of different pieces of insight from one of the webcam regionals that happened. I think it was the Gencon?
It was Gencon Online.
Yeah. So right before we get into it, because I am just going to let him take it away. He's been doing this before, and he really knows how to articulate why he went down certain lines of play and tech choices. So I'm just going to hit the normal plugs, make it a little bit shorter than normal, but hey, we got Facebook groups. We got the official Facebook group for the game that gives spoilers and news. We have the discussion group that you just basically have a bunch of people arguing. Now, JK, you really have like people posting and doing all sorts of stuff, and you can find a lot of people that like the game like you. You can also hear my cat yelling in the background for no reason. I'm kind of confused. Whatever. She'll do what she's gonna do. And then, wow, yeah. And then, if you want to look down in the description, we have links to things like TCGMetalZ, where you can find these cool metal leaders. Leaders like this, Zeno Harambe. You've got the Gohan leader, the manga style that I have. I've seen far too many people, and by too many I mean not enough, running the Soul Striker metal leader. That one's really popular, and it's getting a new prismatic variant. And we're going to have a code word that's going to be in my video soon that you'll be able to have some cash off for metal leaders. So that'll help him out, that'll help me out, and yeah, all around cool stuff. So without further ado, if you like the content, hit that subscribe button, like, notifications, help the channel grow. And as the channel grows, I'll keep giving back more and more to the community because I wouldn't be here without you guys. So yeah, I guess we're going to have Zach really introduce himself and kind of set the tone for the deck before we go into the card view and whatnot and move on.
All right, well, as Chris said, I'm Zach. I played in the Gencon Online event. I tied for 15th place, so I was the 16th person with a 5-2 record. I played Android 16 that we will profile today, so get into it.
Okay.
All right, so let's start with the leader. He's Android 16. On both sides, he has a permanent that says negate the energy exhaust skill of all Android 16 cards with arrival blue-green in all areas. On the front, he attacks. You discard a blue or green Android and he draws 2. His awakening is either 4 life, or if you and your opponent have 5 or more energy. So if you have 3, they have 2, they have 3, you have 2, you have 1 and they have 4, whichever. You untap 1, draw until you have 5 left, flip over. On the back side, same permanent as the front. He has a new permanent that says you can pay for the skill costs of and activate the arrival blue-green skills of cards in your energy area. So if they're charged, you can arrival them from your energy. Once per turn, when a blue android is played from your energy area, you place the top card of your deck in your energy and rest mode. That is mandatory. That actually came up in one of my matches. And then he has an active battle once per turn. I combo with a blue-green multicolor android card from my drop area. So he doesn't draw on the back, but I found that the arrivaling from energy and the active battle were a lot of resources that I needed. That I didn't miss not drawing on the back for him. So that's the leader. So let's start out with the Android 16 arrival package. We run 4 limiter disengaged. We run 3 stalwart defenders. We'll put them off to the side for a second. We run 3 steadfast comeback and 3 steadfast ally. So these are from the new set, limiter disengaged. He is a blocker. He has arrival blue-green, revive blue-green. His combo cost is reduced by 1 if you have a blue-green energy. That's only in the hand, so you can't combo from field. At the end of the turn, you switch him to active mode. He has an auto, and then once per turn, his active battle. It's your opponent's turn. You KO this card, and you target one of your opponent's Unison cards. You remove a marker. So he's kind of cool because if they go all in on a Unison and they double strike chomp it, or if it's a King Cold Unison, the King Vegeta, and it becomes triple strike, you can arrival him in, active battle, kill it, remove a Unison marker, and then it gets rid of all their buffs, gets rid of all their keywords that aren't printed on the card. So it's kind of a nice battle trick against Unisons. The Stalwart Defender, the promo card, he has Arrival Blue. When this card is played, you can't play copies of him for the turn. And you can either KO one of their 4 or less battle cards or add a blue Android 16, which in this deck is the Energy Amplification. We run 4 of. He's the best card in the deck. We'll talk about him after the arrival cards. The Steadfast Comeback, I run 3 of him. He has Dual Attack, Blocker, Revenge. He arrives for a blue and a green. When you play or combo with this card from your hand, you can either make your opponent discard 1 or put a blue android with an energy cost of 1 from your deck to your drop. That effect's irrelevant in this deck. You don't run any blue 1-drop androids. I think the only one that's relevant is the Android 16 from the Evolution Booster, but you don't run him in this. So he's just good to be able to bring him out as a blocker, make your opponent discard a card, and then he can stop an attack and kill a battle card, which is really nice. And then the best arrival android, I think, is the Steadfast Ally. He has Double Strike. He arrives for 2 blue and 2 green. When this card is played, you add 1 Android 21 card with an energy cost of 5 or less from your deck to your hand, shuffle, and then you choose 1 Android 21 with an energy cost 5 or less in your hand and play it. So the Android 21s that we run for him are 2 of the Beautiful Scientist and 2 of the Bad Omen. He was amazing all weekend because if you have 4 energy open, or if you untap the 4 energy, you arrival him out, you activate leader auto and you activate his auto. He goes in the deck to grab one of these 2. If you're trying to kill them, you can grab Bad Omen. If you're trying to kill a battle card and ramp, you grab the Beautiful Scientist. He adds them to your hand, you shuffle, and you don't have to play the one that you added. So if you added 4, you can play 5. If you added 5, you can play 4, and then they come out. And then their auto goes into pending. You replace the card in your energy, which was the android, and then they resolve. Either looking top 7 for a card, ramping it, and KOing one of your opponent's battle cards, or sacking one of your energy, choosing one of their battle cards and one of their life, and placing them in their drop area. Placing is a really relevant wording because cards like the 8-drop Gogeta that say can't be KO'd, this doesn't KO it, it just places it. So it's a good way to get around that. Any cards that get effects off of KOing, it gets around that. Doesn't get around cards that say removed by a skill, but it's still really good, and it also makes it so that you can swing at 3 life with a double striker, combo everything, and then this is game. Because this is, unless they have a God Sealing or a way to, I guess, a Bloodlust, this just comes in and just gets rid of the last life. And I killed a couple people this weekend with that effect. So that's the arrival package. Oh, and it's nice because all of these have the energy exhaust negated, so you don't need to run the Android 17 checkland. These are Android 17 checklands in this deck. And I found that whenever I had these in hand, I'd always charge them because you're always going to have them in your energy. The nice thing about this deck is you can see all of your cards either in deck, in battle area, or in energy because of the super combos that I play. Because Zeno Edge of Space is insane. So we talked about the 21s. Let's talk about the energy amplifications. This card I said was the best card in the deck. It ramps you when you play it. It just takes the top card and puts it in your energy in rest mode. So he basically in this deck draws a card and ramps you, because if he ramps one of these, you can arrival them, and if he ramps any of your other good cards, you can grab them back with Zeno Edge of Space. So he was the card you always wanted to see on turn 2. There's a niche play where you can Stalwart Defender turn 1. I never did it really, because I'd always want to play other 1-drops on turn 1, but he was always your turn 2 play that you wanted to hit, and you could see multiple in a game because you can search them, and you're just drawing a lot on the front, and then you're seeing them in energy on the back. So he's the best card in the deck, hands down. I wouldn't swap him out for anything. They do have the limitation if you can't play 30k and 35k, so there's no turning the tide in this deck. You can't play the Gogeta Spice. You could play the 25k Gogeta Spice, but I mean, you need your blue-green energy, so I wouldn't recommend that. And for the final blue-green cards that are the bombs of the deck is Android 17 and 18 Siblings Revived. So these guys have a lot of text. They have Deflect, so they can't be God Sealinged. They have Double Strike and Dual Attack. When they're played, you choose any number of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and again, you place them in your owner's drop areas. So it gets around cards that can't be KO'd, it gets around cards that get effects with KOing, so it just wipes their board for free. Well, not for free, you have to pay energy. And then at the end of the turn, you switch up to one of your blue energy to active mode. So it's basically a 7 cost. You just don't get the energy back until end of turn. But then they have another auto when they attack, and remember they have dual attack. You look at your opponent's hand, and you choose 2 cards and charge them. you place them in their energy and rest mode. So with this card, you swing into a mono-colored deck, look at their hand. Oh, they have a Champa, they have an Overwhelm. You charge that off-color card, their super combos are dead. So like a lot of the time I wouldn't even grab super combos with this. I would just grab their Champa, their Overwhelm, whatever, and another really strong card that would answer this or kill me the next turn. Ramp them, yeah, that's fine. They get 2 energy, but I'm probably killing them this turn anyway. And if I don't, like, there's no way I die the next turn with me ripping their hand. Because usually they'll negate the first attack, so that's 1 card down, and then I take 2 cards from them, and they don't get cards back. And then you do it again. So you see the 2 cards that can stop your attack, like Heroine's Lineage or the Ape Secret Rare or anything like that. And then you swing again, rip the rest of their hand, and it just puts on a ton of pressure, and it's the bomb that you would want to play when you ramp with this deck because it has the 25k. This card overperformed for me. It was really good. So that's the blue-green engine. We're going to go into, I like to call these the turn 1 plays. We run 3 Speedy Substitution, and then my super combo, 4 Zeno Edge Space. So she looks at top 5, grabs a blue-green android, adds it. End of turn, you can take a blue-green energy and put one down, put any energy down. So you can charge any of these unexhausted, play her, add this, or a Bad Omen, or any of your androids, and then pick up the energy exhausted one, and you can put this down, or you can put down, I mean, you don't want to put this one down, but you can put down another blue-green that can't come in untapped, so that way you have turn 1 untapped, turn 2 untapped with the same android, and then you can play this to go to 3, and then on turn 3, your 4 energy, you can play Majin Buu Unison. So this card is really good. You could bump it to 4. I liked it at 3 just because I saw it when I needed it, which was turn 1, and when I didn't see it, I didn't see too many of them, so that was kind of nice. The super combo of choice, I did 4 Zeno Edge of Space. I started the deck with 4 Android 18 Bionic Blitz, the bottom deck of card when you combo with it, the blue-green. The other Android 16 list that top, that got 12th, Carlos Vasquez, he was running 4 of those. That's fine. It's an Android, so you can discard it on the front. You can add it with this, and you can combo with it with the leader, but I felt that these allowed you to tap out on your turn, so you can utilize this auto once per turn to resack an energy both turns. So you tap out on your turn, and then this makes it so you can pick up an energy, play down one of these untapped, or play down a mono blue untapped, and then you can beam, you can do another Zeno combo. A lot of the times I would have the 16 charge as Zeno super combo, just randomly off the top. Had another one in hand, so that would be, all right, you swing, combo this, pick this up, play down one of the energy exhaust, combo the one that I just picked up, untap another energy. If I had beans or if I had another Zeno, I would untap to 3 energy. That was the whole point of the 4 drop. Like, you could be at 1 energy, play 1 or 2 of these, play beans, back up to 4, and hit them with the 7 drop. Get these on board, ramp to get to the 8. Like, so it all worked really well. I really enjoyed these. I think there's one game in all of my testing and all of the matches that I played where I had like 4 of these in hand, and I wish I had an Android 18 because I didn't have any other Android to discard on the front side. That happened once. Every other time, I'm glad it was Zeno. I wouldn't change it. And the nice thing too is, turn 1, you can just play it, draw a card, and then you can use it later. And a lot of the times with this deck, I didn't care about my opponent trying to combo me. I'll over-combo in this deck just to make my plays happen. So, Zeno was really good. Like I said, you can play the 18, you can do 2-2, you can do 4-18, but I prefer the Zeno Edge of Space. Onto blue, good stuff, 4 Bean, and then I run 6 Negates, 3 Dimension Magic, 2 Chills Army, and Baby Hatch. He's broken. So originally, last week I played in the Carta Magica, I ran 4 Dimension Magic and no Chills. You want to play in the combo step with this deck because of your leader and the arrivals. So 3 Dimension Magic I think was fine. You can use it, a lot of the time what I did was I'd be tapped out, I would use it for just sparking, untapping 2. Just to get 2 energy untapped, that way if I had 1 Bean, 1 Zeno, I could untap to 4 and play the Steadfast ally. That's literally all I use it for. A lot of the times when I would be killing my opponent, I had like 2 Magic, 1 Shields in hand, and like I'd already played the Hatch, so they stopped their turn. Like I didn't need more negates, I felt. These were really nice because it's a negate. You awaken to 5, so they're automatically live. Like your turn 2, you're automatically live if you ramp. And then he becomes a blocker, which is really relevant because a lot of the times you'll play Boo on 3, they'll swing into it, you shields, keeping the Unison alive, and now you have a blocker which puts you into a combo step, which you can then use your active battle, arrive these in, and make your plays. So Chill's Army was really good. I'd keep it at 2. I wouldn't bump it up to 3. I think this, I mean, obviously, but I think this ratio of negates in this deck is perfectly fine. You could cut a D-Magic, because I was at 51 cards, you could cut one, but it's all preference, I think.
It's actually really funny because my Gohan list that should be already up by the time this goes out runs 3 Violent Rays and 2 Test Me Up, and it was literally for the same reason. I need to get to the combo phase, and if I can get to the combo phase, I'm seeing at least 2 to 3 more cards that turn. And so I was like, yeah, Test Me Out forces your opponent to get into the combo phase.
Right,
and
yeah,
like,
making the blocker is insane. Like, and I know if anybody watched the Vegeta starter deck, Nick Green special, he was saying this just gets you, like, you just fire off the blocker, and that's very true. You negate the first attack, they swing again, you just force the blocker, because like this one doesn't have combo power. The red and green ones do, so there's an argument to keep them for combo, but this doesn't have combo power. It's a 10k, so you just throw it in. And it's funny because sometimes I would actually out combo their swing into the blocker, but it didn't matter because like I was killing them the next turn. When I played this card, it's a double striker. Oh, I didn't even say this. He had a second auto. You discard a card, so like he ramps you or kills your opponent's card in the battle step, and then he pressures them. Like, this card is like the most insane card in this deck, I think. This is the best card in the deck, and it was my favorite card to play all weekend. I played it so many times, it won me so many games, but this helps utilize the combo step with that. On to, I guess I'd call it Unison support. 2 God Sealing, 3 Majin Buu Unison, and then the 1 of Zeno. I originally wasn't playing God Sealing, but I was testing against our teammate, Daryl, shout out, and Gogeta 8 was really hard for this deck to deal with. I forgot that this can handle it, but I wanted something to make me not neg 4 when he plays it and swings. So this was just something where I would have the Buu out, I could just have 1 in hand. I would only ever really need 1, because I would probably kill my opponent in the next turn or 2. Funny enough, I didn't see this when I lost to Yamcha, because this would have kept me in the game like 1 or 2 more turns. But I think 2 is fine, because again, if you charge it off of 16, you pick it back up with Zeno. So like, even if you get it charged, you're both charged, you can pick them back up. I had a round where I was against Soul Striker. He charged a Bojack off of his Zeno Unison, used Galactic Buster on it, so that way he was getting value out of it. I out-combo with Zeno, picked up this God Sealing that was in my energy, and when he went to tap the energy to play the Bojack, I just God Sealing it back. And I didn't have a God Sealing in him before the combo phase. So, he was fine. Majin Buu, best Unison for blue in the game. If you don't require a specific cost Unison, this card's so good. It's double strike blocker, it's super pressure. You draw 1, untap it, and a mono blue. There were 1 or 2 times where I didn't have a mono blue, where like I would arrival these out and it would charge another blue-green, or I would pick 1 up and I just didn't have blue energy. But most of the time you'd have a mono blue, either with charging this, which was always the best case scenario, because that way I wouldn't feel bad of myself forcing a charge. But yeah, he's strong in this deck, I think, because you ramp turn 2 to 3. On your turn 3, you're at 4 energy. Swing with lead, do whatever, discard, draw 2. Play him, draw 1, and then you awaken with lead to untap 1. You swing with this, and if they don't negate this, you active battle, so it's a 30k double strike, and you don't care, because you're not using combo power from your hand. It's already replaced itself, and it's going to replace itself more in their turn anyway. So it's a lot of pressure. It's very safe. Its blocker makes it so I can't combo, but I mean, whatever. And the nice thing about this deck is you don't care if this lives. I mean, yes, you have the God Sealings, but this just 8 attacks, so I didn't die. A lot of the games I would live, be at 5, be at 4 life, very comfortable, not care. And if they don't kill it, it's, again, drawing you cards, because you can't draw on the back, so it's giving you more value, and you're swinging for 30k double strike, or ripping a negate out of their hand. The Zeno Unison is the 51st card. I was at 50, and I was trying to figure out, I was afraid of the King Cole matchup, because I didn't test it at all with this deck, and I had no idea how it would go. I felt that maybe it was going to be a bad matchup for me. So I threw this in. All this was for was to just play it for 5 and -5. because it clears field spells, so it would get rid of their field cards, it would get rid of their, like, what are they called? Berry Blues.
Yeah.
And the Paragus whatevers. So, like, that's all this was for. There was an Android 18 mill matchup that I played where he could have been useful, but I didn't play him because I just killed him. So yeah, you could cut him. He's sideboard material, I would say. Maybe side 2 of this. I don't have a sideboard because it was all best of 1, but we can discuss sideboarding after this. And then the last cards in the deck that aren't any blue, which we're really sad to see charged off of Android Energy Amplification, are 3 Great Ape and 2 Fusamasu Deity's Wrath. This is just to keep hand advantage. It was good to just have them in hand if my opponent maybe discard them, or use them in combo. And then when you have extra energy getting to 8, you just pay 2, draw 2. It was good. This card's really good, especially against blue, because you have your Stalwart Defenders and your Limiter Disengages, which are the 5-cost green cards. So you arrival them out, he adds this, swing with this for 15, and then you sack over this, swing. It's going to continue to swing every turn, either dealing damage or ripping 2 cards out of their hand because they have to out-combo it and they rip because of the auto. So it was just inevitability. Yeah, nothing really to say about this card. It was funny, though. My round 1 Soul Striker matchup, I played the first one, swung into him with it, and he discarded a Dabura, and I was like, oh, that feels real bad. So I was like, whatever, he only runs the 1, so I did it again, played 2, swung both. The second one, he discarded a second Dabura, and I think the first one, he discarded a Goku Ape, so I was like, wow, that feels really bad. So yeah, against Dabura and Great Ape, it's not great, but against everything else, they put in some good work throughout the weekend. So yeah, so that's 51 cards. Do we talk about like matchups or something?
Yeah,
okay.
matchups.
So the event was 7 rounds. I went 5-2. I lost to Eric Molina playing Rebus Mass Saiyan, who got second, and then Alejandro Torres playing the Yamcha build, who got third. My round 1 was Soul Striker. I beat him. I think eventually, like I said, he was like playing hand control stuff against this, which felt really bad, but everything else was just pressuring him, and I think I might have eventually resolved 17-18, which just closes the game out. Because a lot of the time you have everything else out, and then you play this, and it's just over. My round 2 was against... Oh, I'm blanking now. I know I played against Launch. Launch is a free win for this deck, I feel. Especially the red-green variant, because, like, they're a 5 and 10k leader, and a lot of your swings are either 25, 25, 25, with the combo effect. So you just swing big, and they have to burn multiple cards that they aren't drawing off of to stop you from killing them, and they just lose hand advantage. I played against Eric. He obliterated me. He did Mass Saiyan. He went first, which really helped, I think. And he put me low. He pressured me. I got to charge to 3, baby hatch, and then on my turn 3 with 4 energy, I tried to kill him with a rival 7-drop plus Bad Omen, but I didn't realize he was playing the Sin Shenron Secret Rare, so I like swung with, I think, an energy amplification, comboed Arrival, so I had this, and the leader, and he went combo Sin Shenron, play it, tap down your last 3 attackers, and I was tapped out. So he killed me the next. I think I scooped, but he was going to kill me the next turn anyway, because like I had nothing left in hand. And then I played against the Yamcha Alejandro. I felt like I had the game under control. I wasn't awakening him. He was at like 6 life. He charged to 5 with the Majin Buu Unison on board, and he basically told me if I had it, I had it. He flopped the Goku Frieza SCR on me, and I didn't have the God Sealing. And that card says you can't remove it from their battle area, and you can't block it. And the turn he played it, I had an Android 21 blocker, I had a 6-drop Android 16 blocker, and I had the Limiter Disengage blocker. I had 3 blockers on field and like 3 negates in hand, and that card just tells me to eat it. So I survived the first turn because I have leader combos and I had a bunch of super combos in hand. And then I think I misplayed by trying to kill it with my baby hatch. I should have just killed him. But then he killed me the next turn. I just couldn't stop his attacks. And my last round was against Vegex. I remember that. I eventually got to these guys and just killed him. But like this deck didn't really... He milled fairly well, but like he wasn't seeing like any of his power cards like in hand. He milled all of his 8-drop Gogetas. He didn't see much. But yeah, I forget what my round 2 was, and I forget what my... Oh, round 4 was blue-yellow SS3 reboot. That deck was pretty nuts, because he's running Zamasu's. I don't know if he was running the Goku Black Eclipse card, the one that plays 4 blockers. I don't know if he was running that, but that deck was kind of sweet. Against him, I just overpowered him with Zamasu's, and I think I flopped the 8-drop and just killed him. Just because blue can't handle this card at all because it has deflect, so like God Sealing does nothing. But yeah, I think that's everything. Oh, I guess sideboarding plans.
Would you take this into best of 3? That's the
yeah,
question.
I would take it into best of 3 because like I'm trying to think of like I don't know what people would side in against this deck. Like it's very niche in how it operates. Like it's like the deck kind of is bad against blue, just because like if you arrival from energy and they God Sealing it, you just sacked an energy for no reason because you have to play it on. It has to hit the battle area for you to replace it, and if they God Sealing it, you don't get the replacement. I did that in my round 1 match, and I could have charged to 8. That's right, I didn't even play that. I could have charged to 8, but I didn't because I arrived like 3 times, and all 3 were God Sealing. So I sacked 3 energy for no reason. I mean, yeah, I don't know what you would side in. I haven't really actually thought about it.
It do be on tap in the last.
I mean, Android. So I will say, I guess Android, the Turning the Tide is really strong. I do make a board, but he also gets rid of drop area, so if I don't have like sackable blue-green cards to combo off of the battle area to then restart my engine of active battle arrivaling from energy, that's hard. So that's rough. And then just negating my attacks is rough for me, because I would basically, if you don't attack me and then negate me, I can't arrival and I can't do anything. Kind of like any deck that revolves around the combo step. Maybe hand control. We were discussing hand control in our group chat, and I don't know how this deck would fare against hand control. I really don't. I would assume it's 50-50. Depends on what I draw, but I have no idea. So
it's like because you won't get their combo step. You will get your combo step when you swing on them.
But they won't swing at me. So
exactly.
I won't, right, and the point of the deck is to be able to play cards on both players' turns, so that way I'm getting 2 energy per turn. I'm not ramping any energy, but I'm seeing more cards, because like again, my energy, I kind of count my energy as my hand, because these all can play from energy and the Zeno can grab anything. So if I'm not seeing that many cards, it will probably stall out unless I draw the absolute nuts, ramp like 3 times and get into the 8-drop. I don't know how that deck would work out. But yeah, that's the deck.
Got you. Well, as you can see, like I said, even though we've had this deck on the channel before, different take, different lines, and another best of 1 top finish for Android 16. So I'm actually kind of like interested, because I do feel like right now with the format, you have the big 3 of Soul Striker, Icarus, and Cell Surge. I would say they kind of go all around. Cell Surge is really good at taking out lots of blue decks because they need their combo plays to be able to go in, not like combo phase, but like actual they need multiple card plays to go in. But then you have Icarus, which will draw generally too fast for a Cell Surge to actually like get, like they have a very, very small window of actually doing that. And then after those big 3, you have a powerful actual realm of Rogue right now. Like a lot of Rogue decks can slip in just based off of the player's knowledge and, you know, like actual experience with the format. So this is just another deck that you may see at top tables, and if you get caught off guard, you could probably get clapped real quick. So just wanted to put another topping deck list on. Wanted to support the homie supporting me. This is vice versa, this circle of clout, so to speak. And yeah, just hope you guys enjoyed another profile on the channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
No problem, dude. And you guys have a great day, and I'll see you the next time you decide to join Universe.
I'll see you at Nats.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, you're right. You're right though.